So you can see that I have created quite a lot of Hero Forge characters. So we're gonna take a quick break from gaming, and we're gonna go take a look at each. Side items have been updated. I didn't get to see it. This is Adan, or Adan. He's just a human fighter. Oh yeah, so I play D&D, but I prefer making characters for Pathfinder 2, just as a hobby. I find it more interesting. I don't know if the ancestries or species and classes and backgrounds are the same, but I'll just tell you basically the idea for each. So as I was saying, this is Adan, human fighter. So he was just working on his farm, and then he saw who he thought was another villager of his, and turned out that it was a zombie. So he fucking dunk, just a dude that set off on adventure to find the reason why there's zombies around. So he was going to the capital, or to the nearby town, to talk to the council and see what he could do to help. So that's Adan. We have here Aghmal. Aghmal I used in an actual campaign. Level 1 monk, level 1 barbarian. Huge Goliath. He would play the bagpipes also, and that was really fun. Oh yeah, and he was following the god of trade, but because he's a monk, but due to like text mistranslation, he had to trade. Whenever someone asked him for something, he had to get something in exchange, or he would ask somebody and would give them something in exchange. He didn't care about the value, but something always had to be traded. So I think someone was like, hey, can you help us push the boat off the beach? And he said, sure, I can help you with that. What are you willing to give me? And that person just found, like, it was another player, like a stick on the beach. And that's what they traded for it. I want to go back to that trade religion one day, if I ever publish my own stuff. Next we have Alchemist. It's just Rick from Rick and Morty. Not much else to say. But then Alchemist 2. I was looking at the ways you can build an Alchemist in Pathfinder 2. This one was cool. This is familiar. It's a flesh-made squirrel. So I don't know for D&D, but Pathfinder 2e, the alchemists can have a familiar made from their own skin or flesh. So that's what that is. They carry their formula books, alchemists, and he's based on medieval art. So I looked at how alchemists were depicted in medieval art. So this was a test alchemist. By the way, if you want to do a volo, according to D&D, like with a book and researching creatures, yeah, this guy, you can totally make him in Pathfinder because of the recall knowledge skill, which is so cool. If you have any questions about the characters or you want to learn more about them, put your questions and comments in the chat. This is the guards for the cities of my one of the countries in my homebrew setting. So just a basic guard, city guard, and these are the rangers of that territory, that country. Now we have this character I made for my friend Angus, who is my first DM, but basically he's a tiefling tax collector. At that time I was reading a book on Templars. Super fucking good book. So apparently the Templars are credited somehow, I don't know to which degree, with influencing or creating the banking system that we know today, where you deposit money at a branch and you can take out money at another location and it's still your account. So Templars, that's a service that they offered. And so he would be a traveling collector. So that's his book with accounts, and then he would go to town for donations for the Templars, but also if you wanted to keep your money safe. The Templars church or temple were a very safe location to keep your stuff. In my world, these guys travel from town to town. You give them some of your coin and he puts it in the chest there, and it's safe. But yeah, probably he probably walks around with guards and a caravan and something like that, and deposits when he gets to the next big city, empties his coffer. So as an NPC, if you see him on the road, you can try to rob him. As a player character, maybe he arrived in town and maybe he lost his chest and he can't get back to the temple until he collected the money back, you know? Something like that. Probably a cleric or paladin. This is Archeomancer. I love this character so much. It's based on another MTG card. Yeah, based on this card. Can we get the full art? Here we go. There you go. Beautiful. So I really like that art, so I decided to make her. This is the first thing. Here we go. Like this. So yeah. And if we look at the card, what? When Archeomancer enters the battlefield, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Words of power never disappear. They sleep, awaiting for those with the will to rouse them. She also has a map. There we go. Archeomancer's map. So the idea behind this character, so again in Pathfinder 2, you can trick magic item. So you need Arcana or magic skills to be able to use items, but you can also trick magic items. So if you, even if you cannot cast magic, you have a skill where you can try to use a scroll or a wand or a staff. So her specialty in my lore, in my head canon, is that she's a monk from a monastery that was established at the gate of an old abandoned dwarven kingdom that has been destroyed and has been abandoned for thousands of years. And these monks, they cannot use magic, but they can trick magic items. They study how to trick magic items. So it's just a monk class with trick magic item. Background archaeologist. And she goes around, they go around in the ruins and they try to recover ancient artifacts and whatever they can to study what happened to that dwarven civilization. So she probably speaks dwarvish as well. I really like her design. I really want to play her. If you have any questions or want to work on the character, suggestions, things you would like to use or to know,